people voted for DOGE, but they're getting pork instead, Michael Snyder reports. The swamp does not intend to go quietly into the night. Just last month, the American people elected Donald Trump, and Trump received tremendous praise for appointing Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to head up a Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE for short, which will attempt to greatly reduce government waste. Even many on the left are excited to see what Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy can do once Trump takes office. But for the moment, it is business as usual in Washington, and our Congress critters are poised to substantially increase government spending and government waste. House Speaker Mike Johnson is pushing a 1,547-page continuing resolution that is absolutely loaded with pork. Johnson personally negotiated this deal with the Democrats, and ultimately he gave the Democrats almost everything that they wanted. Needless to say, a lot of Republican members of Congress are very upset about this. Republicans are bristling at Speaker Mike Johnson, Republican from Louisiana, over the 1,547-page spending deal released mere days ahead of the deadline, full of pork and disappointment. The continuing resolution, CR, released Tuesday night, negotiated on the GOP side by Johnson, includes tens of billions of dollars in waste and includes funding for controversial items, including a pay raise for members of Congress, as well as a one-year extension of the State Department's Global Engagement Center, GEC for short, which funds organizations that censor conservative media, including Breitbart News. On a personal level, Mike Johnson seems like a very nice guy. In fact, he is the kind of guy that you might want to have next door as a neighbor, but he simply does not have what it takes to negotiate with Chuck Schumer. There have been a lot of really bad spending bills that have been pushed through Congress in the recent years, but this is one of the worst. After seeing this bill, Elon Musk warned that any member of Congress that votes for it could soon be voted out. Billionaire Musk, who's heading up Trump's DOGE agency with Vivek Ramaswamy, is leading the charge to slap down the bill he calls a piece of pork, quote unquote. He went so far as to threaten any Republican who votes for the measure, saying they'll be fired from Congress next election. Any member of the House of Senate who votes for this outrageous spending bill deserves to be voted out in 2 years, he said. Wouldn't it be wonderful if the American people started holding members of Congress that endlessly waste our money accountable? I would love to see that. Musk was particularly horrified if this bill would raise congressional salaries by about a whopping 40%. But Musk is taking issue with a provision to bump up members of Congress' pay from $174,000, a level set in 2009, to $243,300 per year, and other measures. How can this be called a continuing resolution if it includes a 40% pay increase for Congress, he questioned. Considering how much the rest of the country is suffering right now, do our members of Congress really deserve a 40% pay hike? Of course not. If they want to be public servants, we should pay them like servants. It's sickening that these fat cats will be paid $250,000 a year while hardworking Americans are spending hours online at food banks all over the nation. Thankfully, there are some members of Congress that are standing up against this bill. One of them is U.S. Representative Eric Burlison. It's a total dumpster fire. I think it's garbage, said Representative Eric Burlison, Republican from Missouri, a member of the conservative House Freedom Caucus. This is what Washington, D.C. has done. This is why I ran for Congress, to try to stop this, and sadly this is happening again. We get this negotiated crap, and we're forced to eat this crap sandwich, echoed Representative Chip Roy, Republican, Texas, another Freedom Caucus member. Why? Because freaking Christmas is right around the corner. It's the same dang thing every year. Legislate by crisis, legislate by calendar, not legislate because it's the right thing to do. Every year, our Congress critters love to push through legislation while most of the population is distracted by the holidays. Why do we need this bill anyway? Why can't we just send the government on vacation for about a month until Trump is inaugurated? Once Trump gets in, his people will hopefully be able to negotiate a much better spending deal. It will be very interesting to see how the vote on this bill goes. At this point, many Republicans are pledging to vote against it. In particular, I really like how U.S. Representative Paul Gosar announced his opposition to the bill. "'Twas 3 days before the government shut down, and I'm at my desk. On page 54 of this 1,547-page mess, the CR is garbage, chock full of carnage. It'll be a hard no. I won't stop that low." I couldn't have said it better myself. After what has just transpired, I don't see how Mike Johnson can possibly keep his job. But he insists that he is not worried. Johnson, though, said he is not worried about getting the support he needs to keep the gavel next year, adding he certainly hopes that he's working towards the majority of the GOP conference supporting the CR. We are governing. Everybody knows we have difficult circumstances. We're doing the very best we can under those circumstances, Johnson said. When Barack Obama entered the White House, the national debt had just crossed the $10 trillion mark. Now we're at $36 trillion in debt, and this fiscal year is off to a record start as far as piling up new debt is concerned. The madness has got to stop. We're literally committing national suicide, and even though our politicians fully understand this, they just can't help themselves because they are completely and utterly addicted to spending. The American people voted for DOGE, but they are getting pork instead. Our federal government is deeply broken, and we continue to add more than $200 billion to the national debt every single hour of every single day. This is by Michael Snyder on the Economic Collapse blog. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. About the author, Michael Snyder's new book, Why, is available on paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. He's also written 8 other books available on Amazon, including Chaos, End Times, 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophets of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of Michael's books, you help to support the work that he's doing. You can also get his articles by email as soon as he publishes them by subscribing to his Substack newsletter. Michael has published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the most important news, and he always freely, happily allows others to republish those articles on their own websites. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, we strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.